My name is Brandon, and over the past year, the Delight Cafe team and I traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15 milligram lab-tested, all-natural, water-soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it most.
Good morning. Good morning. Java Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? My name is Gavin Kerr, and I am here with the most... he looks like a ray of sunshine today with that blue polo he has on. We have Brandon Croucher here with me. You look so full of life this morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hi! I'm good.
Ooh.
Was that loud?
It was.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Find your calm, damn it.
Unfind your... I have some delight in here in my coffee this morning. My dogs have it. We all did it this morning together. Apparently, the one dog took my flip-flop and decided it's her new chew toy because I don't see it anywhere. Oh, well. I guess I need to... Yeah, they were old anyways. I guess I need a new flip-flop. I do. I need new flip-flops. So... Brandon likes big butts, and he cannot lie. All the other brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with an itty-bitty thing and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Hi, Gavin. How was your night?
My night was good. I made my first vegan dish ever. So I made what the hell was it? I took a pan and I sauteed up some peppers and onions with some eggplants. I sauteed all that up, seasoned it really well, and then I made some vegan noodles, and then I put in tomato sauce in with all the vegetables and some spices. Made it kind of hot, and then I just mixed it all together. I was like, yeah, some weird vegan kind of spaghetti. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad.
Good? Tasted good?
Yeah.
How was your interview with Sonia?
It was good. She didn't have a whole lot of time, so we did about an hour interview. But overall, it was really good. She talks about her new album they have coming up for crypto.
Ooh.
So that was really good. I posted the one that I did the other day. With Primal West, I did that today. Actually, I posted this morning. I tried to post it yesterday, but it took forever to upload, and so it should be up later today. And then Sonia, I'll post in a couple days, and then I have another one later today with Whitney Ty, who is a pop singer, and that'll be up sometime next week.
That's awesome, buddy. You got a lot of good interviews coming on. Brian Tracy's been kicking butt with getting people.
Oh, no, he's been doing a fabulous job.
Oh, yeah. Did you get in any fun last night? You do anything? That's why you didn't answer any of my fun text messages. I'm texting Gavin all night, fun little gifts, and I'm like, you never responded. And he's like, you didn't send any words. Well, I was telling knock-knock jokes through gifts.
Yeah, all that came through to me was just that I got 3 images from Brandon. So I was like, yeah, I'll check them out later, and then I just never did. Layla ended up coming over last night. We hung out. I taught her how to play chess.
That's a good game to learn how to play.
It is. Oh, it's a lot of fun. For whatever reason, I've gone down like this chess rabbit hole on YouTube and have refound my love for the game. So, and she wanted to learn so she could flex on her friends that she knows how to play chess, which I think is a really weird thing to want to flex on people. But I was very happy to teach her how to play. So we pretty much just did that for hours because it's a very complicated game and there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. But she got the hang of it pretty quick.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, once you know how to play chess, if you become a good chess player, usually that means you're able to read people, read situations.
Yeah.
You see about thinking ahead, you're planning. Chess is a very, very intuitive game that a lot of world-renowned people, it's their favorite thing to play because you have to pay attention. You have to be in there.
Chess players, like professional chess players in tournaments, supposedly they burn as many calories as like professional athletes do sometimes because just how much brain power they're using. That's insane to think about. Just sitting there, just all the anxiety and all the thought that goes into their game.
It's interesting to think about, Yeah. So what are you up to this evening? Anything fun?
Today I have another interview with Whitney Ty. I have that interview. And then tonight I have, what day is it? Thursday. I have karaoke at Tony K's.
What time's karaoke?
It's 8 to 11 tonight.
Anything fun? Anything you're going to sing that we should all be excited for?
I don't know if I'm going to sing today. Well, I'm definitely going to sing tonight. Hopefully there's enough people there where I don't have to sing. But I'm not sure. I've been going through all my songs on my Spotify and all the songs on my laptop and just trying to make a list of all the songs I know how to sing. And then I get there, and depending on, I'll kind of like feel out the crowd as I go and talk to everybody. And that's when I'll determine a song.
I love it, buddy. So let's dive into saying hello to people. Jaybird, good to flex the brain muscles. 100%. Yes. Crystal Wolf, we were just commenting before we got on it. We haven't seen you in a while. Want to say hello. Hope you're doing well. Bob Seymour. Dude, we get Bob tomorrow. Are you excited? Guys, join us tomorrow. We'll find Bob. He's been going through some stuff lately and all that. But Bob is 1 in a million, and he is literally someone that everybody, Mama Gotti, we have not seen you in forever. Hello, Mama Gotti. Thanks for the invite. Good morning. How are you, Mama Gotti? Love to see you there. We have up at the top, Bob Seymour and Brian Tracy had a full conversation about coffee this morning, which leads me to our first question of the day. To get the comments in, ladies and gentlemen, answer me this. How many cups of coffee do you need in the morning? How many cups do you need? Gavin, I'm on my first, but I usually do my second by the time I'm on air. But this morning I worked out, I did some other things, and I only do one. What about Mama Gotti says, what a warm welcome. We love you. We're glad you're here. We just want to start the day off right with everybody and with a great group of people. Bob says he should be in Florida tomorrow. He has a wedding. I know he's going to be officiating. Crystal Wolf is, I'm busy little bee at the moment, testing a new toy out today. I want to know what that toy is. I want to know, what kind of toy is it? Is it a remote control car? Is it a airplane? Is it a Nintendo? My mind is going crazy. She also says she has 2 cups of tea, coffee, if that doesn't work. Need none. Want 3. I understand that. I've been there. Bob Seymour says at least 2 before my brain cells start to fire. What about you, buddy? 0 cups of coffee. I quit cold turkey in 2006 and have not gone back, by Mr. Brett Gordon. businesses are people too. Brett, maybe that's why you're having trouble sleeping, buddy, is you drink no coffee. You need it in the morning to push you going and then literally pass out. He's shaking his head heavy no.
No, that's not how coffee works.
Dude, he can't sleep at all. Like last night he didn't sleep. Like he's just been hurting lately.
I don't think coffee is the answer to not being able to sleep, though.
No, he can't sleep at night, and right now he's awake and he doesn't want to drink coffee. And I'm watching his head go and almost hit the keyboard in the background. He looked up at the screen so like, oh, that's funny. So how many cups of coffee do you drink on average to get yourself going in the morning? None. You used to drink coffee. What happened?
I'll go through phases. Like I was talking to Layla about this last night. I'll go through phases where I will drink coffee every single day, like clockwork, for months, and then just one day forgets to brew a pot of coffee or forget to like get some coffee, and then I'll just stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't experience any withdrawals or anything like that. I just I'll drink it all the time. And then I'll just get lazy one day and just not. And then I'll think to myself, wow, it was so nice to not put in that effort to make that coffee so that I don't make it again.
Was it that bad a coffee? Like, what is it? Like,
No, it's really good coffee. I really enjoy it. I just, sometimes when I'm tired, I just rather not make it.
You're a pot of coffee, though.
Yeah.
So if you're a pot of excuse me, I'm going to shut the door since they both just ran out.
You're good.
They were doing so good at sleeping here today and being so quiet, and then they decided, oh, no, I'm going to go run around. Oh, jeez, did you see my chair just drop?
I did. I did see that. You all right?
Yeah, I'm like, I just dropped like a foot. Puppies! Yep, the puppies are barking in the background again. Brian Tracy, I saw your comment earlier that said you are on your 60th ounce of coffee just to get through the day. That's a lot of coffee. That is a lot of coffee. I don't know who's here, but I think someone's here because they're just barking like crazy right now.
Do you have a mailman by chance? Or no, because the mailbox is all the way at the end of the drive.
Correct. The garbage men might be picking up the garbage. They don't like trucks. Yeah. Like one of those. Thank you. Oh, see, maybe this blue is my color. It's like you complimented me. Mama Gotti's complimented me. Brian Tracy sending me nudes in the background. Like, yeah, a lot of good things. The face of you when I said Brian Tracy's sending me nudes was perfect. And then Brian Tracy had my favorite comment of the day as well. He literally wrote, where is it? It's back here. Bring your air-conditioned underwear. Is that a thing? Because where do I buy a pair? Because I need it.
I know underwear for men at least is getting pretty spiffy as far as like they're getting like really specific with how tight it is in certain places and how loose it is in other places, and then the breathable materials. Like
Really?
Manscaped has that one where it has like a pouch to hold your stuff in.
Yes. Oh, see, Jaybird gets me. He's sitting here going, puppies, chair drops, tree trimmers, always an adventure in Brandon's world. Oh, my God. I should actually show you guys. I have to look for the pictures. My parents took pictures before they left of this tree that was cut down. And if I could show you where the hole is now, you'd be like, wow, that was a big tree. Like, it was huge. So, fun times in Cleveland. Gavin and I have a very special guest today, don't we, buddy?
Yes, we do.
Do you know anything about our guest?
She almost died.
You know the same amount I do.
Yeah.
She researched 2,500 cases of near-death experiences. Lynn was so delighted when she learned what she learned. She wrote a book, The Wonder of You. What the near-death experience tells you about yourself. The book received rave reviews and now is in a more in-depth second edition is available on Amazon. Lynn's interest in science spans 45 years, has helped to add a profound understanding of the link between science and spirituality. She is also excited because her new children's book, Warple will be launched this summer. Very exciting. She's going to be a great guest. We have Christina coming on soon. Nice. She'll be doing part of her book club that Christina does to be able to help everybody that doesn't want to read. She provides the free digital copy for you to listen to and then have a conversation with about the book Brene Brown, Daring Greatly. Yeah. Good morning, Miss C.K. Ford. Love to see you. Go ahead, Gab. I'll shut up now.
I'll have to ask her then, because I'm confused now based off of that. If she almost died, or if she just talked to a whole bunch of other people that almost died.
See, that's one of my questions I wrote down with you and I talking this morning. I'm like, who almost died? Did she almost die? Did she send things to be like, did she meet so many people that almost died?
Yeah.
Like, near-death experience. Like my mom and dad had a conversation before they left for Texas about my near-death experiences and how I should be dead 3 or 4 times over now. And my dad was in the backyard making jokes about me. And he's like, remember when you threw the stick in the woods and it came back and it broke your nose? And I'm like, yeah, Dad, I do. Dude, next time you're out here, are you working tomorrow night?
Yeah.
What time?
Tomorrow's Friday, so I'm doing 8 to 11 at Hatfields.
Never mind. I was going to invite you out for a fire or something so you could see the woods where where the tree broke my nose.
I'm working on weekends.
That's your fault. I work on weekends too, but you decide to work with where they make you come in. I do my work right here. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
But I also work for 3 hours a night, so.
I choose to work all the time. That's because it's my company. I've been learning about DMT, not to be confused with NDT. No, don't mix those two up. No. And be cautious if you try DMT, because it is called the God drug for a reason. And yes. I want to let you know I love you enough that I'm not going to tell you how to live your life and anything like that, but be cautious, because that's a big one. That's a big one. When I drank a venti Starbucks, when I drank a venti Starbucks and a large Rockstar in the morning, then Diet Mountain Dew for the rest of the day, I slept terribly due to the caffeine in my bloodstream, and brain would not let me get a restful sleep. That's because you had a venti, a Rockstar, and a Diet Mountain Dews. Brett, I love you, but you just were a walking caffeine bubble.
There are people who live like that regularly, though, every day. That's how they function. They drink a bunch of energy drinks and a bunch of soda pop and a bunch of coffee.
But the thing is, it's so unhealthy. So unhealthy.
Yeah.
All they're doing is ripping apart their insides. I like how Brian says, fire, Brandon, bad combo. Buddy, I play with fire.
Yeah, he's pretty good with fire.
I'm I love fire, buddy. I spin fire as a hobby. I get paid to spin fire in front of people when I want to, when I do shows. I'm good with fire, buddy. You want me around with fire. My brain does not want to wake up this morning. I've had 2 phone calls already, and both phone calls I literally was stumbling over my words. I don't know why. I just can't. My brain does not want to wake up this morning.
Oh, I thought I had a stroke last night. I was talking about something, and I went to say forget, and I went I tried I was tasting the food, and I just put in something really spicy, and I didn't mix it good enough, and so I got a mouthful of it, and I started to cough, but my throat closed a little bit, and I almost thought I was having an allergic reaction. I was like, oh, it's because there's no meat in here. That was the joke. But then I went to say something. I went, or was it? I just couldn't speak for whatever reason.
So that's weird. Was it all right? So was it your mouth wasn't masticating enough? You weren't able to create enough saliva to actually eat the slow food?
No. It's I went to say something. Yeah. And I just my muscles just stopped working in my face.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah. It's I literally completely forgot how to speak.
That doesn't sound healthy, buddy. Mama Gotti responded to me about the DMT. This is a good response. Oh my goodness, I'm a housewife. I'm just watching YouTube videos, not trying to get myself into anything. I am not that adventurous, LOL. But check out Shane Mew's Tales from the Trip. Great entertainment. Honestly, that might be fun to watch. Like, you and I both smiled like that would be a funny one.
Yeah.
Brett says, stroke me, and slowly stroke me, stroke, Brett. Your humor is just 1 in a million, buddy. Like,
it's a song reference that he's making, but it's completely out of context, and I'm probably the only one who would understand that song reference right now.
What about Brian Tracy's The Universe Made Me Whole Again? I don't know if that's a song reference or if Brian's got a story for us. Did you just say masticate? Yeah, I said masticate's what your mouth does when you produces like saliva so you could swallow food. I know what I'm talking about. Not masturbate, masticate.
I thought it's salivate.
Nope, masticate. Masticating. Mastication is when your mouth creates the saliva in your mouth for you to swallow your food. He nearly
life into pieces. This is my last resort. Mastication, saliva.
Mastication, no eating.
Yeah.
We can make a whole song about that. All right, we're going to have a challenge for Gavin. He's got to make a new song with the word mastication in it, and the whole song has to be about eating. Sound good?
Okay, I could do that. That's pretty
No
easy.
yawning. No yawning. I don't want to see the mastication happen raw.
I can do that. It's pretty easy.
That's funny. Masticate is chewing. Yeah, mastication. Get your masticate on. The masticate. Oh, shut up.
I don't like this word anymore.
You don't like this bit anymore?
No.
Mama Gotti missed us. Mama Gotti, we missed you too.
Yeah.
So over the weekend you're working, and then next week we have a busy week, but we leave next week for Vegas, end of the week. Are you getting excited for that? Are you ready to drive? Are you ready to rock out with your friends?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, what are you most excited about going to Vegas for? And is that your cat?
Yeah.
You have a cat? When did you get a cat?
Two. I've had them for years. They're awful.
I have not seen your cats, and I've been to your house. I don't ever remember seeing a cat.
Yep, I got two. I have
cats. No idea.
And the one just meows and meows and meows and meows all the time. And then she'll come up and she'll try to like rub on you, and she'll knock my damn phone out of my hand. Or this morning I was laying in bed and she came up and she kneaded on the blanket and her claws went through the blanket and pricked my sack, and I damn near threw her across the room. Oh, I was pissed. I don't like these cats, man. I'm not a cat person.
See, I think everybody needs a cat. And I mean this in the nicest
Why?
way. Okay, so and the cat is very crucial to who you are. Meaning, my dad hates barking. My dad hates having to go open the door and let the dogs out. My family does not like certain things about what dogs need, like cleaning up the dog poop in the backyard. But the thing is, while they don't like that, they hate the barking. And I'm sitting here going, so you want a cat? Because you can teach a cat to go into the cat litter. That you only have to clean once a week. The cat's not going out and going to run around. And when the cat decides it wants to curl up with you, oh my God, you're going to take a nap with ease. But a dog is always right there. And when a cat starts coming to you when you get home, you know that cat loves you. And for me, they earn that. They want you to earn their love. Where a dog's like, just give it to me. You know? I don't want a needy pet. I want a pet that make me work for it, like my cats did.
Yeah, so with me, I don't pick up the dog poop. I just mow over it. I just mow over it. So that's not an issue. Don't care about that. My backyard looks fabulous. It's all nice and fertilized. There's that. And then what was the other thing you said? Oh yeah, no. If I buy a pet, I do not want to. Hi, Donna. I don't believe we know each other, but hello. If
I
I
think
buy
you're
a
handsome.
if I buy a pet, then that is exactly what it is. It's my pet. I do not want to have to earn its love or trust, unless it is something that can kill me. Like it's like some huge animal. Like if I got a bear as a pet, I would want to have to earn its trust. But that being said, it also needs to be a mutual thing.
All right, now I'm going to come up with a random question. You
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Everybody write in your comments as well. What would be the pet you would want that you probably can't have? Like you said, a bear. If you could have a pet bear, what would you want as your pet that usually is not a pet? There's people that have owned lions. There's people that have owned cheetahs. There's people that have owned a bear. A Rottweiler bear is apparently one that counts. But my thing is, for me, do you know what pet I want?
Huh.
A penguin. I want a pet penguin. One day I would love to be wealthy enough to have a Ferrari that is black on black, looking like totally baller, sign up for Uber, and then have a penguin buckled up in the back seat. So when you get in, you're like, ooh, this is a nice car. We're both in tuxes, the penguin and I. I just think that would look absolutely awesome and be so much fun. What pet would you want that you could? Oh, a dragon.
It's interesting that you said a bird, because I would also choose a bird. I'd want some kind of bird of prey, like some kind of eagle or like a falcon or something like that. Some big bird of prey.
Yeah.
Because they've had them before, and you can do falconing, which is where you train them to fly out and they'll hunt for you, or they'll send messages and stuff like that. They'll travel and stuff. So that's what I would enjoy. Like I always had this like really funny fantasy. There's like this like weird like badass moment where I'm riding my motorcycle down the highway, and there's just this huge bird of prey like above me the whole time. And then I get to a gas station, and some guy's like, dude, that bird's been following me this whole way. And then it lands on my shoulder. I'm like, I know.
That would be cool. Like you just you get out of your car, and as you're standing up, it just right there, and like you hit like your stride. Like, dude, like, if we could make a car or a building blow up behind you as you're walking away, that's like the ultimate like pimp scene. Like you're like, yeah, my name's Gavin. They call me GK.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, no, I'm not crazy about cats. And then the whole when they come and cuddle up with you thing and you fall asleep, no, because they take forever because they got to knead and they got to go around in little circles and they can never get actually comfortable. And then they wanna like rub up on you, so they're not sleeping, and neither am I. They're pissing me off. I'm not a cat person. Never have been. I've tried. It's not my cup of tea.
I used to say that, but now, dude, I miss my cats. Okay, so it's also a thing that my one cat was very unique. He never meows. He almost is a dog. He beats up dogs for training, like for real. This cat was like straight thug kid, the black.
So it sounds like you don't like cats then. It sounds like you like dogs in cats' bodies. Yeah, see,
because I do like small dogs too.
Yeah, see, like, you don't like cats. You just like dogs. You just like them in cat form.
I only like animals that are small enough that if I kick them, they're going to go across the room because I'm never going to kick them. But like, I like that small version, like a football size. Okay. Yeah. I love small animals. I don't know what it is about them. I hold them. I would I had 2 wiener dogs. I loved miniature dachshunds. And the funniest part about those are I would literally wear a shirt that when I was walking them that said, I heart my wiener. And it had a picture of a wiener dog on there. And people would walk up to me just to talk about my shirt with the 2 dogs because they thought it was so funny. And I'm like, it's not that funny, but it is funny. Like, thanks.
I mean, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, when you said people walk up to you, I thought you were going to say people were going to start walking up to you complaining about animal abuse.
No. I would never kick an animal. I'm just saying that's the size of one. Like, they need to be the size of like a football, basketball, soccer ball. Like the size of them that like the teacup. What are they called? The teacup ones, like the pigs.
The pigs, yeah, teacup pigs.
Yeah, and then you have like dogs that are that size, like the miniature pinchers. Dude, I could not do one of those. Those are too small. I'd lose it like while I'm taking a shower. Yeah. I'd be like, where'd it go? Oh, it went down the drain. Like, it's one of those things. I All right, let's see what some of these pets are. You ready?
Yeah.
Jaybird says bird of prey equals modern times equals drone. I love that. Hold on, I saw a few good ones. Crystal Wolf says a pack of gray wolves. I have to be honest, that'd be awesome. Brian Tracy said a brown bear or a grizzly bear, but could you imagine him with a motorcycle with a sidecar and a grizzly bear in it? I would love that.
I have an easier time imagining a grizzly bear riding a motorcycle with him in the sidecar.
I could see that. See that. CK Ford says an owl, while Sherry McQueen says a white owl. I have to be honest; these are great. Mama Gotti says a dragon. So when you say,
she could own a dragon right now if she wanted to.
Yeah, Komodo dragon. Those things are awesome.
Komodo dragon. Yeah. Komodo dragons, bearded dragons. I watched a documentary of this couple who owned 2 Komodo dragons. They lived on Komodo Island, actually, or they lived in some like tropical area. But basically, they had a whole bunch of land, and the amount of work that went into these animals is just insane. Like, it was like a full-time job for them. So you got something like that is cool. But I personally don't think that it'd be worth it. Just the amount of land you need. They had huge rat farms so they could feed them. And then they just
they get so big, and I thought, you could correct me if I'm wrong, aren't they very territorial?
Oh, they're crazy aggressive, yeah.
And if it bites my leg, it could seriously rip it off.
No, you'll die. Even if you get away, you'll die from infection. There's so much bacteria in their saliva. Like, people thought that they were venomous, but they're not. They just have such a disgusting amount of bacteria in their saliva that you'll die from infection.
No, I just would stay away. Yeah. But I'm not. All right. What pet are you afraid of? What pet would you not own? I'll tell you right now, tarantula. I could not do a tarantula. Or a snake. You and your snake. You were ready to bring him out. And you're like, hey, Brandon. Yeah. I'm like, no, Gavin, keep away. That thing's going to eat me. And you're like, Brandon, it's not that big. No, I don't care what you say.
It's not that big, Brandon. My snake isn't that big. It's okay. It's not that big.
You're saying it in a different tone, and you know it. It comes from eating all those rats and spiders and stuff. Their neighbor has a teacup corgi. So my question to you would be, is it a barker? Because I feel like the smaller the dog gets, the more it barks.
Yeah, they're not size conscientious. I'm not a fan of little dogs either.
All right, I'm going to say this, and you're going to correct me, but it's because I want you to correct me. It's like they have the Napoleon syndrome. Like, they're all that small wanting to bark at everything.
Oh, yeah. No, Napoleon was not that short. It was just a different measuring system that made him seem that short.
I love it. You and I had that conversation the other day.
Yeah. There are plenty of pets that I would definitely not own because I know that it is not worth it or fair to the animal. Even if I could give them the perfect proper enclosure, I still probably would not own them just because I wouldn't own them as a pet. I'd be all down for having an actual a zoo where it was or a protective reserve for animals. But I wouldn't go play with them or hang out with them. But I want to say there's an animal that I'm afraid of.
None.
No.
I'll give you that. If I take you, no, fuck that. When I take you on a hike in California and we go to the Redwoods, okay? Yeah. You ever been there?
No.
Dude, I'm gonna first time I went, I didn't even want my cell phone in my hand. I wanted to absorb it. It was the most amazing experience, just trees and everything. But that same weekend, a park not far from where I was walking, a mountain lion mauled a dude. And I'm sitting there going, I did not know these were around here. I knew they were, but I thought they were not. No, hold on. Where I am, there's a concert going on in the park. So you'd think that loud noise would push them away enough. That dude was close enough to me. He was eating. He got hurt. He was in the hospital. Yeah. So let's have a wonderful conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We have someone that just popped in the background. She's our favorite book expert. She comes in with a knowledge of like just every book ever written. She knows them all chapter by chapter. It's amazing to see her come through like this. We're going to have a great conversation and play a couple games with her today. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to Miss Christina Kimbra.
Good morning. I love starting with y'all. So
we
nice.
Love it. We love
How you doing,
starting with
Christina?
you.
I'm good. I'm really good. I just love hearing you're like, you guys, whatever you're talking about. I'm like, it's hilarious every week.
Yeah, if you could have any pet in the world, what pet would you have?
That's a great question. A dog. I have 2 cats, but I want a dog. So I was relating to what you guys were talking about.
What kind of dog?
A bigger one. We were talking about like getting a German Shepherd, because my husband has a friend that's his mom like breeds them, but we were looking around our house and we're like, we're terrible at cleaning the cat hair up that like just comes from cats. We're like, if we get a big dog, like, I don't know. We've got to.
Well, it's like I have a Rottweiler. He's 130 pounds or so, and I never have to deal with his hair unless, like, I guess when I sweep. Yeah, I sweep. Yeah. I vacuum maybe once a week, but like I don't really have a hair issue. He doesn't shed a whole lot.
Right. So that's what I was thinking. The other thing is my husband's going to go on deployment a lot, so I kind of just like want like a dog that's, not mean and scary, but just something that will bark, if someone comes to the door, that kind of thing. And then I'm also a runner, so I want like a breed that can run. That was good for running.
So you should probably get a mix then.
Like what do you
get a Frankenstein dog? Well, you want something that runs,
right?
So I would imagine like some kind of shepherd, or if you're feeling really crazy, a husky of sorts.
Okay.
And then or like a lab, and then you want something big that barks,
right,
but is also like really chill. So I would imagine like some kind of like Mastiff Hound.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
if you know your dog's done.
Yeah. So if you did like a Mastiff, that would be something big that people wouldn't mess with. That has a nice low, loud bark to it, but they also just sleep all the time.
I've heard that. Yeah, because that's the other thing is maybe I should just breed my own dog. But I have 2 cats, so like I don't know. They don't. I want a dog that's good with cats. So. Yeah.
So have you ever done a greyhound?
No, I mean I've heard of them. Yeah, they're saying greyhound.
The race dogs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
So in Florida, dog racing was huge.
Okay.
And they illegalized it or made it illegal. And so a lot of people are getting rid of their dogs because they only had them for racing.
Wow.
So there's a huge amount of greyhounds out right now. And I will be honest. Christina said, Crystal Wolf stole it from me. Brian, greyhounds are lazy as whoop. And the truth is, they love to lay down, but the minute you get to go get them running, they will run with a long time. Yeah. Gavin and I had a meeting a couple weeks ago with a group of guys, and they brought their dogs. It was in their backyard, and they have 3 greyhounds. And those dogs just wanted to curl up with us and just lean on Gavin. They were like, "You smell so young. We love you." What would be a pet you wouldn't want, Christina?
I mean, any kind of snake, rodent, reptile. No, just no. I told my husband if we have kids that like want those things, that's a hard no. Like I'm pretty open and want my kids to try things, and that's just a hard no.
My Puerto Rican family, they used to have mice for their children. They had a mouse named James, and Jeremy was probably 7 years old at the time, and his little sisters and cousins were younger than that, ranging from ages like 4 to 6.
Yeah.
And they accidentally smothered this little mouse. They smothered Jeremy's mouse in a blanket. And he was so upset. He was crying, and he comes over to us, and he's like, "They killed James." And the girls are like, "We're sorry. We were just washing our hands." And he yells, "With James!" at them. And so what Cassandra, his mother, did is she took it to the store to get a health bath. And anytime these mice got sick or died, she would take them to go get health baths.
Oh my God.
And they had to use special chemicals to make them feel better. And these special chemicals would change the color of their fur.
Oh my God.
And so like every other week, she was just bringing home a new mouse that had gotten a bath.
Right. That reminds me, I have a PSA. One of my really good friends here in Virginia her son had a bird, and he loved this bird. And she lit a candle next to the bird.
Oh shit!
Killed it, suffocated it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Really?
So she wasn't doing it like to do that on purpose, but she loves candles, and the cage was right next to this candle, and she didn't know, and she came back hours later, and the bird was dead.
Wow. I thought you caught it on. I thought she caught it on fire.
Oh no. So don't do that. I guess I didn't. It's supposed to be common knowledge, but like, if you have a bird, don't burn a candle next to the bird. Like if it's in the cage.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how that makes sense at all because it's a cage, so the air would flow through. Yeah. And then I knew people who had birds who were religious chain smokers in their house, and that bird was fine as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know. It was a tiny bird, so I don't know. But yeah. Her son was like devastated. I mean, can you imagine telling your child, like, I suffocated your bird? And then my best friend's mom had a hamster that she was like a clean freak, and she gave it a bath and she blew dry it and fried it.
Oh shit.
So PSA, just for anyone out there.
Wow.
This has been the most entertaining. I'm just gonna sit here and let you two talk because Gavin has friends whose moms go and dye their pets so that way they come back and oh no, this is little blah. And then Christina's over there like, so I'm not a bird fan. Birds hate me for some reason.
Yeah,
and
I don't like.
Anybody that's ever owned a bird. If I walk in their house, they're like, hey, B, guess what? This is my bird. Let me open the cage and show you it. And the thing comes out, and it's like right at me. I'm like ducking and like.
Why do you want a penguin then? You understand that's a bird, right?
It's not going to fly at my head. They can't fly.
No, but it'll peck the shit out of you.
No, they don't. They're very loyal. Penguins find their mate, and they love forever. I would be his
so it's gonna peck you.
No, he's gonna connect with me. Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna connect with you. All right. So sounds like it.
Yep. Him and I only want a small one.
That's a great question. So, what's like a non-traditional pet that you guys would want?
That's what we just
asked you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What would be yours? We had wolves. We had owls. We had. Yeah. I said a penguin. Gavin said a. What did you say?
Bird of prey.
A bird of prey. Yes.
Like a falcon or an eagle or something.
Yeah. I would say I know people. I saw this in Florida. So it's not traditional, but people do have them. Is probably a pig, like a small teacup pig. Yeah. I've seen them. They're cute. They're really smart too. So.
Bacon.
Piggin? Is that what you said the name would be? Piggin?
No, I said bacon.
Oh,
That's
they get old. You get hungry.
Right.
You crack me up.
I was watching Naked and Afraid. It was men versus women. And you guys ever seen that show?
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So Naked and Afraid, it was Battle of the Sexes, and this caused a lot of controversy with people. People were pissed about it. And in all honesty, I don't feel bad at all about it because the men, they found an alligator. They found a small alligator. They got behind it. One of them distracted while the three others got behind it and jumped on it.
Yeah.
Flipped it upside down and killed it. Oh. And that's what they ate. They ate a goddamn alligator. The women found like 2 or 3 pigs where they were at. And it's rumored that they were put there for them because they haven't been eating anything. They couldn't find any food. So it's rumored that these pigs were put there for the women by the studio. But regardless, they found these pigs. Oh my God. And they befriended them and made them pets while they were starving. And they started feeding the pigs what little to no food that they had for themselves. And then they just left them there. They're like, all right, bye, pigs. We're going to go to our next campsite now. What?
They probably
Sounds
didn't know
like
how they were
women,
supposed to cook it. Yeah, they were nurturing. They were nurturing, man.
They
We
were
have more
starving,
empathy
is
than
what they
y'all.
were.
They were. I agree with you. What I'm saying is like, all right. So the guys, they came up with a plan. They got behind it. There's an alligator. Like, never name your food. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, Sherry McQueen. Yeah, it was a good movie. 50 First Dates. It's the only way my relationships last. Apparently, is I have to keep dating, have them forget about me. But so with that though, I think it's they were nurturing the pigs. They were meant to that. But if you don't know how to cook it, you're just gonna go kill it and then put it over a fire? No. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be like, well, shit, I might as well take care of it. And that's
if I'm hungry, I'm gonna.
You're a guy.
If I'm hungry and I see an animal, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna put it over a fire, and I'm gonna say, well, I hope that I cooked this long enough, and I'm gonna eat it because I'm starving.
I'm Christina. If you were on an island, naked and afraid, would you be able to kill a pig just to be able to survive?
I mean, I don't know. I've had this conversation with my husband. I think if you get hungry enough, like totally realistically, like something in your brain is going to change. So I think your survival mode's going to kick on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My husband had to do this though. Like, this was a real situation for him. He is a rescue swimmer. And so they put you something through school where they drop you off on an island or like somewhere remote. You don't know where you are. Because, like, say the helicopter crashes, right, and he goes into enemy lines, he has to live, right?
Yeah.
He had to take a bunny and break its neck to eat it.
Yeah.
In front of everybody?
Yeah. I mean, that's required. Like, and I bring that up because I was like, I don't think I could do that. Yeah. I just don't think I could do it.
I don't think I could.
Look, but I mean, if you have to survive, like, that's what they had. Those were what you know what I mean? So it was, I mean, I had to break the bunny's neck and eat it. And
fire, bake, soup, veggies. Like, it seems like people would do what they need to do just to be able to get by. I ate bamboo viper, Philippines during the jungle environment. I used to. Mama Gotti cracks me up.
I love Mama Gotti. Look at her here. I'm going to bring him up because you're not going to. I would kill the pig so fast.
You have to read it like she would say it too. I would kill the pig so fast. We're both like
just so fast.
Well, you guys have some really interesting viewers. This is awesome.
Oh, we want them to interact with us. We want them to tell us about like I would go to the grocery store. Joe's like, no, like not at all. Mama Gotti's laughing at us. So for real though, like, what do you do with that? Like, I could not. I don't know if I could kill a pig. A pig maybe, but an alligator, I'd have no idea how to cook it. I'd have no idea what I'm doing.
And you cook any meat till it's hot. Just put it over the flame. I'm starving. I'm not trying to season it and make a gourmet thing out of it.
Here's another question. What would you do? So my husband, again, I can only bring my husband's experience because I'm clearly not that adventurous. Anyway, he was in the hill country of Texas driving. No one was around, and he hit a deer, right?
Yeah.
And the deer was still alive, right? Yeah. And he knew that and there was no cops to call. It's, if you know anything about hill country, Texas, it's in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, no cell service. So he's a very compassionate person, and he took his knife and slit its throat.
Good.
So could you do that? Could you do that?
Yeah, I have done that.
Okay, I couldn't do that. And we've had this debate for a long time, like, but that's the humane thing to do. And I'm like, I don't think I could do it. I can do it.
You just let it lay there and just suffer?
I guess. I don't know.
That's worse.
Yeah, I know. That's what he said, but I don't know.
So Brian Tracy says, "Ooh, a new restaurant idea: kilt pigs."
That's hilarious.
All I could picture is that restaurant that's like franchised, the Twisted Kilt. I hate that place.
Yeah, that's in Cleveland, isn't it? Or
there's a few of them. Yeah,
I've never heard of them.
It's an Irish bar with a bunch of scantily clothed women. I'm not a fan, but at the same point, it's whatever. But like,
pretty name.
It's a pretty name. All I could picture when he said that was pigs in the outfits that they wear at the Tilted Kilt, and I'm like, Like, that's why I started laughing. I'm like, oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Wilson can't cook a volleyball. No, you can't. Oh, man. I agree with your hubby, though.
Someone said roadkill soup. I love this. So my best friend and my family's from West Virginia, and my best friend's family sells roadkill cookbooks. Like, they just sell them.
Yeah.
So, because they know how to like take the roadkill and make it.
As long as you get it fresh, it's like if it died any other way.
Right. Like if it has to be within like a certain amount of time that it was killed. Like if you, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your husband, after he hit and killed that deer, he could have easily taken that home. As long as the insides didn't like blow up and get stomach acid everywhere, then he could have taken that home, and that would have been a good month's worth of eating.
And he wanted to, but he was by himself and he couldn't physically like lift the deer himself. But yeah. Crazy.
So, Christina, after today's show, you're going to be doing your book club. And I'm trying to figure out how to make that segue smooth.
Well, yeah, there's no killing involved in my book club. So if you don't, it's a very mild, chill conversation. Yeah. You cut it open and feel if the meat is warm or cold. Oh, where does Mama Gotti live? Does anyone know? Because she's a badass. Like,
I love that you did that. Like, Mama Gotti, I'm not even sure where you are. Like, please tell us where you're at, because I mean, Christina's right. You are a badass.
Well, she's got a lot of like life experience with survival things. So,
Michigan.
Okay. Yeah.
No, we're not laughing at you, Mama Gotti, for that. It's just that it was Michigan. I was expecting something way more farther out.
You are now about to witness the power of street knowledge from Mama Gotti.
I got one for you. Brian Tracy, ready? Killing in the name of book club.
Yeah.
Tell us about today, what you're going to be talking about on your show, and how everybody should be tuning in about being vulnerable with you and Brene Brown.
I love it so much. Someone said I'm slaying the books. That's great. I will take that kind of killing it. That's great. I do slay the books. That is really good. Yeah. So today's interesting. It's about feedback. So like how we give each other feedback and how we receive it. Right. And then cultures of like feedback. So I've been in a lot of like organizations that don't take feedback well. So, I mean, it kind of goes with what we're talking about with killing it, because you can either kill a conversation, you know, depending on how you give the feedback or how you receive the feedback. So she just talks about creating environments where, you know, we can lead with vulnerability, and vulnerability is the big thing it takes to give and take feedback. So this has been my favorite chapter, actually, to be honest, because it's the most applicable to me so far. Like all of it's applicable, but this one, like, who hasn't been in a relationship or an organization or a nonprofit or volunteering where you've either had to give feedback or you've received it?
Yeah.
You know, and
there should be an app now where people can give you feedback. Let's say you lost a job or you left a job. You and your employer can give each other honest, anonymous feedback on each other. If you get out of a relationship, you and your significant other, like after like a month or a couple weeks or whatever, you two can give each other honest feedback.
That's pretty good.
Whenever like the dust settles, you can say, like, you can put like a permission button on there, like, all right, I give permission for feedback now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this idea. I'm thinking of like an app where like you rate each other, right? And so like, people have rating. I don't know. I don't want to know what my exes would say about me, though. That could be pretty.
Yeah. Have you seen Black Mirrors? On Netflix?
Black Mirror, yeah, I know what episode you're talking about.
I right when she said it, that's the first thing that went through my head. So in Black Mirror, they have a rating system. So like now, if Gavin did something I didn't like, I could swipe him up and give him a rating, and it would show everybody his rating when he's around them. For real.
So this is a real thing. They do this in China now, where it's very similar. I might botch it, but I know it's like where they have like phones, and like, so say you like recycle, you get a point. Say you take public transport, so it's like this idea of getting people to socially like do what's good, right? I don't know. It's scary. I don't know if I like it, but it's just
the crazy thing about, and I'm not sure if they do this in China yet, but in the Black Mirror episode, your rating determined how good of a life you lived. Like if you had if you had too low of a rating, you wouldn't be able to like buy a house or a car and things like that. Like you just weren't allowed to live in certain neighborhoods.
No joke. That's how it is in China. Maybe not that extreme, but like you get points, right? So you can, it's like a point system to earn to go to this place, and then, but the thing is, it's like a social media profile. People can see your point and ranking. Yeah. So talk about it, shame. I mean, that goes full circle with what we're talking about. And her research has proven over and over. So if organizations use shame, like that's so old school, we need to get away from that because it's very proven that it just doesn't work. It can work in the short term to change a behavior, but if you're shaming someone, your child, your employees, like it's not an effective way to create change in an organization or in a family.
Yeah.
So, book club survival adventure. I don't know if y'all want me to lead that. We might end up dead.
we're end up as Bones with a whole bunch of piggy friends just chilling next to us.
Seriously.
Yeah, that is definitely a scary thing. I'm very curious on how that's going to play out in China. If it's going to be like it's like, oh, I need to see your credit history, and then I need your credit score, and then I need your social score as well.
I mean, it's scary. Like I said, I don't know the exact details. I forget where I saw it. It was something on Netflix, but it was a documentary about, and this woman, they followed her around and like showed an app, right, of and then that's the thing that's scary is it's using your location and tracking everywhere you're going. Oh, and it would track like your food, like what you were buying. So if you bought shitty food that wasn't good for your health, then, the government would know that. And like, I don't want everyone to know when I'm having my Coke. Like I drink a lot
the craziest thing is too, is that if it takes an average, all you need is one person. All you need is one shitty person to give you that 1 out of 5 star, and now you have 5 stars across the board, and then you get that 1 star, and now that it averages out, and now you're down to 4 stars automatically.
I mean, that's a great point. That's terrifying. That's a really good point. Like, or say like you see like a whole group of people get mad because you do something and they want to cancel you. What if they rate you? You know what I mean? Like, so a whole group comes towards you. I mean. Yeah, it just sounds awful. It makes no sense.
Yes, it's giving too much power to the general public.
They literally need a Brene Brown in their culture because that's the epitome of shaming someone into a better behavior. And again, it's just not sustainable. It's not like a way of doing things. So
maybe it'll just be like a reward system. Maybe if you get enough points, you get a gift card to Starbucks. Maybe that's what it's like. Hey,
I would do that.
Yeah, you're a nice human being. Here's some free coffee and a scone.
Yeah, you're not a piece of shit.
Yeah, I like you. You get free burritos at Chipotle.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You just mentioned 2 of my favorite places, so I'm down. Yeah. I would do some good stuff. I'd try to be a better citizen for some Chipotle.
See how quickly she just signed away like half of her social rights and freedoms? All it took was a burrito and some coffee.
You said Starbucks though, so those are my 2 legit. Like if I didn't spend money on that, I would be a lot richer. Yeah. So
that's your weak spot right there.
It is. That was good, Gavin. Though I did like sign away my entire life and all my rights.
Yeah, I'm just imagining you now in like a slave camp, just chipping away with a pickaxe. You got the full jumpsuit on,
right?
And then at lunch you got Starbucks and you got Chipotle.
But I'm like double fisting it with like coffee and a burrito.
Yeah, you're just as happy as can be, just living in this internment camp.
That is so funny. You can't cancel people you don't like. Yeah.
I literally am sitting here going, I'm just going to let you 2 talk today because you guys are going back and forth. And the cat wanted in on the conversation too. You hear that? Look at his face. So, Christina, your favorite 2 are Starbucks and Chipotle. Gavin found your way to get you to lure you into his creepy van. That's what it worked.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what mine would be. What would be
It
my
rubs the
weakness?
sour cream on its skin.
Oh my God, don't. I can't with that movie. Oh.
Oh my gosh. So now I want to know what your secret thing would be that people could get you to lure you into a creepy van. I think mine would be ice cream. I really do. They'd be like, we have mixed ice cream. Shh. What is that called? Twist. We have twist ice cream. Shh.
I don't think that there is something that a person could lure me into a van with.
Baloney. I can tell it, but I'm not going to say it on air.
Is it something sexual? Because no, that'd be like the biggest of red flags. If I had somebody pull up to me in a big white van and it had this very attractive woman or dude in the back, I was like, "Hey, you want a piece of me?" Like, hell no, this is hostile.
Guys, I'm gone. Like right there. Come here, Brandon. We have ice cream and onesies. Gone. Literally out the door. You guys will never see me again. It puts the ice cream on the skin, 100%. Christina, you're doing your show today at 1 o'clock. At what time?
I think we said like 12:30 maybe.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know if it's 12:30 or 1. I forget.
Yeah.
Directly after today, she's going to be getting ready. She will be going live on the Delight Network, on her network. We will be talking about Brene Brown and Christina's Corner. Guys, make sure to go give her a follow, a subscribe, a love, and be there today at 12:30. She talks about being vulnerable with Brene Brown. Christina, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
on.
I look forward to Thursdays and these very random, fun conversations.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to have you.
I do have one question for you.
Of course.
I looked up one thing. What state is it actually on the books that it is illegal to drive blindfolded? There is one state it is on the books. It is illegal to drive blindfolded. I found a bunch of them for today. I was excited for this.
Yeah. But it's the only state? Like that's not a law anywhere else?
Nope. Apparently you can drive blindfolded in Ohio, you can drive blindfolded in Michigan, but you are not allowed to drive blindfolded in this state.
I'm going to go somewhere in the South, like Mississippi maybe.
Oh, you're so close. You're so close. Mama Gotti says Utah. Gavin, what's your guess?
Tennessee.
You know what? I'm going to do this. Christina's going to have to sit here for a second because I'm going to bring in our guest and see what Miss Lynn thinks because she's in the background now and we're here to talk about near-death experiences and we're going to find out what her pets she would not want to have or would want to have is and what Gavin can have to bring her into his creepy white van. Ladies and gentlemen, let's find out if Lynn knows what state you can wear a blindfold and drive.
Hello, Lynn. How you doing, love?
Hi. Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Wonderful.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to follow that act.
Oh, man. It's tough. We'll keep you going with
it. You don't need to follow it. You're joining right in.
100%. So do you have any guess of what state it would be that you're legally allowed to drive blindfolded? Throw a random one out there. It's in the South. I'll give you that.
I've read that one once, but I can't remember. And I'm from Canada, so I might
be giving you a hint. Yeah, I might be giving you a hint.
Yeah, how about Louisiana?
No, try reading that one out loud. That's your hint.
Alabama?
Yes, you did it! See, look how good you are. Lynn comes in and knows her states you cannot drive, or you cannot drive with a blindfold on. So, Miss Lynn, thank you for being on today. Or Miss Russell, thank you for being on today. So the first question Gavin and I had when going through your bio, did you have a near-death experience, or is it your relationship with the amount of people you've had that got you into wanting to write your books that you've done? And then how do you have a near-death experience with a children's book? Those are my first two questions I have to ask.
Okay, let's start one at a time.
Yep.
And if I forget the last one, because I'm really old, so you just remind me.
Okay.
You got it.
All right. First of all, what a near-death experience is when a person dies and their soul leaves their body, and so that's a near-death experience. And they get resuscitated, or sometimes not. Sometimes they come back spontaneously, and so that's what a near-death experience is. So what do I want to tell you about? I had a very, very, very small one. So I quite honestly don't consider it to be, it was so small, I didn't get out of the tunnel and I was shoved back. So, but most of my information comes from my studies. And as I've said before, I studied 2,500 cases, and I also have studied all kinds of spirituality and every religion in the world as well. So that's a pretty broad base.
Oh,
so what was the next part of that question?
I muted myself, so I thought Gavin was going to go in with that one. I'm sorry.
You had more questions that you were asking.
I had
That's
two.
what I was waiting for.
Well, my second one, because her answer, I have so many more questions now. So how did you even find these subjects to have 2,500 people that are near-death experiences, and what brought you into wanting to know their stories?
Well, I've always been interested, always. I just love those kind of things. So I've always been interested in near-death experience. And primarily because I wanted to find out. I was raised in an atheist home, and so I had no idea what happens after death. And so I wanted to know what happened after I died. Yeah. So that actually was why I did all the research, and not necessarily on near-death, but spirituality and so on, to look for answers, to try and find out what was going to happen when I died. And that began when I was a little kid, like 9 or 10, really young. And sorry, my voice. And so, just a sec.
No, take your time. I'll have a drink with you. Ready? Cheers.
So So that's what started the whole thing, was to find out what happens when one dies. So that was my beginning. And then, but I was just fascinated. Once I got started learning about different religions and so on, I was quite fascinated with how they started and what the history was and how it evolved to what it was today. So that was part of mine. And then, of course, there was a new spirituality that came out around 70s, 60s, with the boomers. And so that was fascinating too. And so I was just in on it all. And then when I retired, I wanted to write a book. And the book I wanted to write about had a woman who was astral projecting. So I needed to answer some questions about whether anybody who astral projected could even do the things that I was saying they could do. So that I was looking online to find a place, and I ran across NDERF, and that's Near Death Experience Research Foundation. And they do research on near death. They also had a segment on out-of-body experiences, but I think that's gone now. I don't think they do that anymore. Anyway, so that was brought me in. Well, then, where could I belong but there? So I just stopped. And then while I was on there, and there was a chat line at that time, that's gone as well, because it's just huge now. So when I was on there, Dr. Jeffrey Long, who owns the website, asked for somebody to do research for him for a book that he was going to write. And so I put my hand up because I was just newly retired. I had all kinds of time, so why not? So that's how it worked out. Whoops.
So what was your near-death experience like? I know you say you don't really count it as one, that it was a very, very small one, but what caused it, and then what was the process like from your memory?
Yeah, I actually, because it was before anybody ever knew anything about near-death experiences, so I sort of thought that it was my imagination or hallucination or something. I was really, really ill and had a very high fever. And and then 1 minute and it was literally 1 second I was in my body, and the next second I was out, I was gone, and I was in a tunnel. And I was just instantly in the tunnel with this guy, this guide that was taking me up, and I was very confused what was going on. I had no idea, but I knew that I had died. That part I knew, and I mean I knew I had been very ill, and so as we're going up, this guide is taking me up. A big voice comes down, and it was just like what you'd imagine in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, take her back. It's not her time. And but the fellow beside me said, but she died. And he said, take her back. She has much left to do. And so the next minute I was back in my body, and it was just that fast. And some people have huge, extensive death experiences that just go on and on and on. And so they're so beautiful that's why I consider mine to be sort of Mickey Mouse in comparison.
Well, I imagine there's a lot of paperwork they have to fill out when somebody dies and then to send them back as well. So it's got to be quite a process.
Yeah.
But no, that does sound amazing. I've heard a lot of stories of near-death experiences. I've heard a lot of stories as well, similar to people. Somebody in the comments has mentioned things like DMT. Those drugs, they're known as like the God drug, where you see these similar types of things where you go, and then there's usually a reaper next to you who's carrying you on to another side, mentally or spiritually. So it's very interesting that you saw all that. How's that sort of changed your perspective on the life that you have left after that?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's changed me completely, because the death experiences were I learned a great deal. As I said, I'd already been doing a lot of study on near-death experience, well, on religion and spirituality and so on. So I had questions that I couldn't answer, and the depth of the information that was coming back was so amazing and answered the questions that I had. So I just couldn't wait to write the book. That's what started me writing The Wonder of You, was, and that's the name of my book, because it was answering all those questions. So that's what I was after, was to tell people what happens at death, and also to answer some of those questions that we don't know, and I've just been so fascinated with them. And it's just kept going. I mean, it hasn't stopped yet. I still do more research, and I still learn more things. So, but it's changed me from the point of view that I'm not afraid of death anymore. And and I understand at a deeper, more spiritual level about what life is all about, why we're here, all of those kind of things.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Because you have different studies from that, where you've mentioned you've studied different religious practices and different ways of this. So with having that experience, how are you using these levels of pains from people's life, because that's a very unique situation, to help build up a future of people with knowledge? Actually, here's a better way of phrasing this. Mama Gotti nailed it. Why are we here?
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of the basic things about the way I think now, and compared to any religion that I can think of, is that most of our lives are built on negatives. We learn that we are bad, or that we need to be improved, or that we're not quite there yet, whereas my thinking now is that we are absolutely magnificent beings, and that we don't need to improve ourselves just to be all that we can be. Why are we here? We are here for, okay, let me put it this way, because if I say it that way, it won't work. So let me just say, imagine, if you can, that you are in a space of nothingness, absolute nothing. Just, there's no sounds, no sights, no nothing, no smells, nothing. If that were actually possible for us humans, we wouldn't know we exist. Literally, we would not know that we are. We need something to bounce ourselves off. Now, let's suppose that that's the source. I call them the source. So the source would be in this nothingness. But of course, it knows it is. It knows it exists.
Yeah.
So that would be absolute agony, to be in eternity with nothing. I can't even imagine how bad that would be. So I think that Source creates for that person no reason to get back, to have something to bounce itself off of, and so we are part of it. I mean, there's a whole universe out there, and science tells us there's multiverses. So yeah. So we are here to give back to the source. And every minute that we live, every second, is going back to the creator.
I think that's a great way of saying that. How did your life change after your near-death experience? Like, it led you enough to go want to do more information and talk to people about it, and then write a book about it. Did you notice any change in yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I'm calmer, much, much, much calmer, because I've read stories about people who have, like we've read stories about people who have gone to, they've gone to the garden, or they've gone to places where or they meet their loved ones, the ones who have passed before them, and they have love, and they meet their guides and things like that. And they're all physical experiences. But some of the people that died went right into the light immediately. And
Really?
that was and that's where the deepest learning was. Because when they were in the light, they found out that they were the light, that this was home, and it was just bliss, absolute bliss. And so being there, those experiences to me taught me huge amount, because it was like they saw how creation happened, for example. And it was like, one or two would say it was like a flower, a multi-petal flower, like a mum, chrysanthemum. And it would just be opening, and more petals, and more and more and more. Another one was that they saw, sorry, my brain stopped. They saw like a fountain that was overflowing. And so it just kept coming and coming and coming. And what was coming was love, because that's the power that is used to create with. That the source uses love as its creative force. And so, I mean, how can you not change after that? After knowing that?
Yeah.
So,
So what did you have a story that literally you heard it and you're like, okay, I need to start writing to teach people about this? Or was this just something that came on you and you were like, yeah, I think I need to tell these stories? Like, how did you come about this? Because like you said, it's just different. Like I've not met anyone like you that's done this or written like this. So I'm intrigued, and I even made the joke before you were on about how I've had 3 near-death experiences, and my parents think they're funny because I was a kid, and like they make jokes about it, but like there are very serious ones, and I'm curious about the fact that how do you even get into something like this, and how you handled it? Like you have a great story.
I don't know how to answer that except to tell you that I absolutely, as I was reading, as I said, I was getting answers to my questions, and I was just so thrilled that I just had to write about it. Because I thought, if I'm asking these questions, a lot of other people must be too.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wrote the book, was to answer other people's questions. Because here I was getting these wonderful pieces of information, so sharing it.
What is the impact that you've seen on people? Like, have you done like any sort of presentations with the book, and then you have people come up to you to talk about their near-death experience after? Like, what's the impact that you've seen on the readers and the people who can relate to these scenarios?
One of the things about the people who have had death experiences and come back, there's a few things. One of them is that most of them didn't want to come back. It was so beautiful there that they wanted to stay. Yeah. And I'm sure you've already heard that before. But they, one lady came back, and she'll stick in my mind till I die. And she said that she was in so much pain. I don't mean physical pain. She was emotional pain because she did not want to be here. And she said, I'm just putting in time until I can get out of here. And, but she was so unhappy. And I thought, what a shame, because there was life lessons. There was a reason why she was brought back.
Yeah.
And so if she didn't do whatever it was, sorry, then she was just going to suffer, for the rest of her time. And what's more, if she doesn't complete her task that she came back to do, she'll have to come back and do it all again. So.
As in, you mean like in a reincarnation? Gotcha. So then, do you believe that the soul is basically stuck on Earth until we get it right, and then we're allowed to officially transfer on?
No, see, that's a negative perspective.
I don't think it's negative necessarily, because you're learning a lesson over and over again. It's a trial.
Yeah, that would be my perspective. Excuse me, guys, I've got to fix my voice.
Yeah, take your time. Gavin, have you had a near-death experience?
Not in a sense where I did die, but yes, I've almost died a handful of times. I've almost drowned in both freshwater and saltwater. I got set on fire with gasoline and had third-degree burns in my face and chest. I've fallen from great heights. I got hit by a car maybe 6 months ago. I've had quite a few. I attempted suicide twice. I've had quite a handful of near-death experiences.
And have you died in any of those, or have you just almost died?
No, just all of them has just been almost died, but I've never been legally dead. Actually, most of them I walked out without a scratch, other than the fire. In all honesty, like when I fell from a scaffolding, I didn't break anything somehow. I had bruises all over me, but I didn't break anything. When I got hit by the car, I was riding my motorcycle, and a lady cut through a turning lane and ran straight into me. And I just got up, and I was completely fine. My bike was totaled, but I was completely fine. Wow. When I was really little, I almost drowned in a pool, and some family relative pulled me out just in time before I blacked out. When I was drowning in the salt water, I was the one who saved myself, because I yelled in my head to stop. And I just completely stopped what I was doing. And then I came back up when a wave wasn't coming over me. That's why I couldn't get up, because waves kept hitting me. and I was able to come up and catch my breath, and I realized nobody around me had any idea what had happened. And then with the fire, my neighbor had beaten the flame out on me, so he saved me that day. And then with the suicide, the first attempt was trying to hang myself in the closets, and I didn't want to break my neck. I just wanted to close off the blood flow, so that way I would just slowly slip away. And I remember I actually with that one, I did nearly black out. Everything went completely dark. So it was just a little bit of light left. And then I felt like I had lost control of my body. Everything was completely numb. I couldn't feel anything. And I stood up. I undid the noose. I took it off from my neck. I made my bed. I ripped up the note. I laid down. And then I physically felt having control back over me, and I just lay there and I just cried for probably 30 minutes to an hour before I finally passed out, because it was extremely late at night, and that was quite an experience.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. And you know what that tells me? That you haven't done your chore, whatever it is that you've come here to do, because each one of us has something.
Apparently not. Yeah, I'm basically invincible for right now, so that's cheers to that.
And well, you ask about after people come back. That is one of the consequences, is that some people become daredevils because they know they're not going to die, so they'll try anything. Okay, it's all right, I don't care. And even if they did physically die, they wouldn't care, because the soul continues on. So
no, I definitely I have no fear of death whatsoever. I lost that a very long time ago, and because of that, I'm very, very happy taking risk. With the fire incidents, I actually had PTSD for a while. Like if I smelled any kind of alcohol or gasoline, like very hard, it would freak me out. And so to get over that, I started doing fire eating.
And what about you, Brendan? You said you've had 3 experiences, or were you being facetious?
No, I gave the 3. I was using the 3 my parents used. The one Gavin and I were talking about earlier. I was cleaning the yard up for my parents to cut the grass, and I had this huge stick, and I threw it in the woods, and the way it hit a tree, it came back and it literally hit me in the nose. And it like smashed my nose in, and the doctor was like, a centimeter to the right or left, it would have gone through my eye and all that. He's like, you were like really lucky. Other ones are just like me being a dumb kid, or a dumb teenager, doing things you shouldn't do. And mine is, I've never seen the light. I can say that. I've seen myself be in situations that I shouldn't be in, and I had to reset myself. But then my question to you is actually going to be, with the passing and the going and all this stuff and coming back, so that people haven't filled their purpose, how do you know when you're on the right path to fulfill your purpose?
Actually, that's a good question, because I get that a lot. A lot of people want to know what their purpose is. I think we know because, okay, I'll back up one tiny bit. We are, in essence, soul. Soul is living this life. It's soul that's standing here, that's sitting here talking to you, and it's soul that eats and sleeps and goes to work and does all the things that we do. So that's all soul. And what was the question? I really do. Yeah.
No, you're good. When you're on your path, like how do I, like, all right, so like you as Miss Lynn, how do you know that you're on your path and staying on it?
Okay, so because we're soul, the soul knows. We built this personality, and we think that the personality in is us and the ego and whatever, but actually we're soul. And so the soul knows. So we are directed in the direction of where we're supposed to go, right from birth. So, for example, children who, not even prodigies, let's just talk an ordinary person. You sort of like something more than you like the other things, the things that you really like to do. And that would be the direction that you should follow. A lot of people, sadly, wind up doing jobs that they absolutely hate because it's a job, it brings money in. And so they feel like they're not being true to themselves because they really would rather do this. And the truth is, they should be doing that. They should, even if they're doing it part-time, even if it's a hobby, or I always wanted to be a writer, and I couldn't because I was busy writing kids and things like that. And so as soon as I was retired, bang, I wanted to get into writing right away. And I did. And you asked me about my children's book.
I did.
Yes, it's coming out in the summer, later on this summer, probably August, or late July. And I don't have a date yet, obviously. And it's called Warple. And it teaches children that we're never alone, that we're always with, and it teaches about the oneness, but it does it in a way that is fun, just having fun. And it teaches about kindness is contagious, and that it can change a whole world. And it also talks about love is a power, is the most beautiful power in the world. Yeah. So that's what the book is. But it's about a boy who has an attitude and is grumpy and miserable, and ends up going to another world, and with these wonderful, warm, fuzzy creatures, and having an adventure and getting himself into all kinds of trouble, and yeah. So it's an adventure book.
That sounds like a blast.
Yeah.
Let me show everybody your book, The Wonder of You, What the Near-Death Experience Tells You About Yourself. It's on Amazon. We shared the link. We're going to follow Lynn here. Oh, I need to sign in. Sign in. I don't have Brett's code for that, and my Prime benefits are on hold because I haven't paid them this month, mainly because I don't have Prime. But I followed you on here as well. Guys, this is Lynn's book. This way you see the cover of it. You're able to get the idea of what you're doing. You have a lot of really interesting stories. Now, does each chapter focus on being able to, like, another person's near-death experience, or is the whole book connect all the near-death experiences?
Okay. The book that you just showed is the second edition. The first edition, which is not on the market right now, but it will come back onto the market. It was to talk about near-death experiences and what happened in the process, okay, of dying and so on. So that's what the first book was. This book has the same information in it, so you learn about what happens during death. But I've also brought in, because another interest of mine, and about around 35, 30, in my mid-30s somewhere, I became very interested in science and have followed science all these years. And so the second half of the book is an overview. It's not a deep science, but an overview of science, not very deep stuff. Anybody could read it, and how it links into our spirituality.
Interesting. All right, so how does it link our spirituality? Can you elaborate on that?
That's a big question.
I know you can answer it though, because you have my attention. Like, I've been like sitting here on the edge of my seat the whole time. I'm like, you are phenomenal. Can you explain that a little bit? Because there are many religions around this world, and understanding love and compassion and all that is the main focus of religions.
That's right.
It's being empathetic, but having boundaries. And I think that a lot of people are looking for an understanding of life and the afterlife. And having what you have, I'd love. What is going to be the name of your children's book? We're being asked
Oh,
that
it's
by.
called, okay, it's called Warple. Worpple. And that's the name of this imaginary world that he goes to. Well, it's not imaginary, but this other world is called Warple.
And then, so can you connect that other world and us, and how people can see basically
Okay,
their
did you want
purpose?
me I just told you how to find your purpose.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm meaning the bigger picture with the afterlife and the Gavin, help me. I phrased it wrong, and I'm thrown off by Mama Gotti's purpose.
No, you're good. You're good. So
Well, you asked me how quantum physics plays into our spirituality.
yeah,
Yes.
Basically, and I'm going to have a lot of scientists screaming at me because I'm saying it all wrong. You know, you have to say it exactly right. But anyway, yeah, scientists don't like me, but because they have found that quantum particles do very strange things, and the strange things that they do, they found out that our consciousness somehow is connected to these particles. And in actual fact, they do not exist until we need them. That's a true statement. I know that scientists will go, yeah, but sorry, guys. But so if, and we also found out through science that this universe is holographic, and that isn't like hypothetical. That's true. This is a holographic existence, and that's including us and our bodies and our brains and everything. So we're a hologram as well.
Yep.
So if we're holographic, what is this I that I call me? And those are the things that I answer in my next book, which is going to be called, it's finished. I just finished it. It's going to be called Your Quantum Consciousness. And I take step by step and show how it relates.
So could you say that things like predictive dreams or deja vu would be a lag in synchronicity of your quantum selves?
Well, okay. When you come to psychic abilities, I totally think that they are real. You know, there's no question. But what I think is that because we are all one, it makes perfect sense that when we're tuned into that oneness, that we can connect with each other and feel each other's feelings and thoughts, and so it depends on how connected we are with the oneness. And people like fellows or men and women who are the holy people of India, the Sadhus, or I'm not saying that right, sadhus, I think it is. Anyway, they know the future. They know, all kinds of amazing things because they can tune in.
Is there a way that anybody can tune in to their consciousness?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, talk to me. Like, is it meditation, prayer? Is it yelling at Gavin? Like, how do I get that?
Well, meditation is a big one. That'll do it for sure. There are also people who have taught themselves how to leave their body. Their souls leave, like astral projection. So there's OBEs, which happen, that's an out-of-body experience. They usually happen spontaneously, and they're very brief, and you're up there, and all of a sudden you're looking down at yourself, sitting at the table or whatever, and then the next minute, you're right back in your body again. So it's a real fast little thing. Whereas astral projection is a long-term thing. People have taught themselves to leave their body. And I recommend Robert Monroe's books on that. And there's the Monroe Institute in Virginia. I think it's Virginia Beach. And they teach you how to leave your body. But there's lots of different places you can learn how to leave your body. And if you get used to it and you do it often enough, you'll travel all over the place. In the beginning, it'll be, just out your body and maybe down the street and then back again, or to your mom's place or something like that. But after time, when you get comfortable with it, then you'll try different experiences. And so that's one, and the meditation is the other.
So how accurate is that astral projection? Like, is that just sort of putting yourself in a deep trance of illusion where you're seeing things that you've seen before in your head? Like, I'm very, very familiar with the layout of my house. So could I sit in this chair and then go around and see my house and it feels like I'm really there? Or is it in a sense where you are actually feeling the energy around you to the point where I could tell exactly where the dog is and what he's doing, and I could see that? Or where they have an experiment would be they could have a room where scientists are holding up a color and a number. Maybe it's blue and 3 and red and green.
Yeah. The American Psychical Research Association, or I think that's what it's called, has all kinds of really good quality stuff. Like, they don't do Mickey Mouse stuff. Yeah. And that's one of the things that they do is research astral projection. But one of the obvious ones is, like you said, where you know something that you couldn't possibly know.
Yes.
You know what people are doing or where they are or what they're reading or wearing or whatever. Yeah.
Mm. Is it dangerous to leave your body?
No, not at all. No. There's no danger because you're not dead. So you can come right back in, no problem. As a matter of fact, people who meditate and really teach themselves to meditate deeply often leave their body. And gurus often leave their bodies, and they will travel all over the place out of their body.
When you're doing this, you're going to a different plane. You're registered on a new on a new plane of existence. Is that your personal? Is that just you there? Or if Brandon and I were in the house together, both astral projecting, could I run into him in the kitchen?
Well, no, you would not see him.
Okay, so it's our own private channel.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's half answer, because some people do, but that would be people who would see ghosts and things like that. So people who can see spirits, then they would maybe see you, or they would know you, or they would feel you being there.
Yeah, but our astral projections would not be able to see each other.
No. Oh, you mean if both of you were out of your body at the same time?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you would see each other. Absolutely.
Really? We have a question. What if they missed it? Their kids were running around. Where can they learn about how to leave their body?
I think there's first of all, there's quite a number of sites on the internet that teach, and there's quite a few of those. And also, as I said, the Monroe. I'm sorry, my voice is going again.
You're good. Take a drink. You're good. I'll stop for a second. Gavin, so I personally know, I'm going to ask a weird question, but I want to get that question answered first. So don't let me forget.
Okay.
But go ahead. When you're back, I'll ask my question after.
Okay. Monroe Institute, which is in Virginia Beach, teaches how to leave your body. I don't know what their cost is or anything, but I know if you want to go to somewhere that's done it over and over and over and know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Pets. Do pets play a role in your journey? I mean that as in, I'm someone who, like Gavin mentioned his near-death experiences. I've had things where I've attempted suicide and stuff, and it's just been very heavy and stuff. But I was telling Gavin this morning before you were on, the dog that was with me in here is saved my life multiple times because I've wanted to hurt myself, and he was right there. And just loved and compassion, and he had this like knowledge of like, nope, you're with me right now, you're good. Do pets play a role in that at all?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you see your pet when you die. They're there. Like if
Really?
your favorite pet has died before you, when you go, you'll see them.
All of them? Because I have a lot.
As many as you want.
Oh, can I take some of my friends' pets that I liked more than they did? Have you seen the movie Soul, on the new Disney movie that came out during 2020?
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, yeah.
What are your
Oh,
opinions on how they connected that with everything? Because it's a very unique movie. It's an outside the box thinking, and for Disney, it's out of their normal realm. What would you, if you've seen it, what were your thoughts on that, and how does it
yeah, I
connect with
think
you?
it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, there's way more to it, but what they have is not bad. I don't. The thing that they have is that the guy comes back, and well, I guess people do come back. You know, people do come back.
Yeah.
They don't come back the way that this story is, but if they came back, so it's not accurate, but it's interesting.
Yeah. What about somebody who would be comatose? So somebody who is completely out, and then they end up coming back. How does that compare to a near-death experience of somebody who's actually seen the light and then come back?
Mhm. Actually, it doesn't matter what the physical body is doing. It can be comatose or in a coma. As a matter of fact, many coma people have death experiences and go to the other side and do whatever they're going to do, because every death experience is different. So I can't describe theirs, but they will have a death experience, yes. As a matter of fact, one famous one, and actually, I mean, it's being talked about as if it's a death experience, but it's not, because he didn't die. He was in a coma, and that is Eben Alexander has a book out, and he is like, he's very well known, but really his death experience wasn't a death experience. He was comatose.
Interesting.
When someone is in a coma, that I know Gavin was asking like that, is it easier? Like if, all right, so this is going to be me thinking, so my grandma I'm visiting and she's in hospice right now. And if she was in a coma, could I go into a state and actually communicate with her while she's in there if she had that same connection, so that way we can connect?
Yes, you can. Yep.
That is pretty stinking cool. Have you ever done anything like that? Like, have you connected with anybody like that? No, man, I was setting that up for a really fun question. It doesn't work then. Have you had any experiences that, like you said, there's like famous ones and stuff, but have you ever had an experience where somebody's telling you theirs and you're like doing your research on it and stuff, and you're like, huh, that one's kind of scary. You're sure you're heading to heaven and not hell? Like, have you ever had something like that?
Oh, yes, I've read many people who have gone to hell. But let me tell you, thank you for that question, because that's a good question. And this is very controversial, and I know that, but I just have to say it like it is. So anybody who doesn't agree with me, gee, that's too bad. But
I love her.
But what the story is, that people have found themselves in this hell experience, and it's horrible. I mean, what's going on? If we personally went through that, it would just be awful, horrible, like beyond horrible. And then when they call to get out, in whatever manner they do that, they just say, help me, or they pray, or one fellow that thought he had to do something like religious, and he couldn't think of what he was going to do, and so he sang "Jesus Loves Me" because that's the only thing he could think of.
Did it work?
Yeah, and it worked instantly. But people get taken out if they just say, "Help me, get me out of here." They're out. Okay.
Really?
When they get to the positive place, wherever their heaven is going to be, when they get there, they'll ask, "What's that all about? How did that?" And they are told repeatedly that that was their creation. They created that. And people create their own. That's why I kept saying whatever their heaven's going to be, because we create our own death experiences, each one of us. It's very, very individual. There are things about death experiences that are universal, like being able to talk telepathically or to be able to see 360 degrees or travel by thought. Those kind of things everybody can do when they leave their body. And there's a few others too. But anyway, but the actual experience, whether they go to a mountain or they go to a garden or if they see their loved ones or they don't see their loved ones or they see their guides. Some guides are 10 feet or 12 feet tall and they're beings of light, and other ones are just like you and I. One person had a guide who I laugh at that because he was a tall, thin man with a gray suit on and horn-rimmed glasses.
I love it. Like you're looking, you're my guide. You're my guide. All right, let's go. I'll follow you. I love it. So with speaking to so many different people, have you noticed that like everybody has their own, but is there any similarities between what people say heaven to hell is? Like you hear the light to you hear the heat. Like, have you noticed there's similarities in people's stories?
No. Heaven has similarities, but hell doesn't. Most hells are quite unique to that individual. So, as I say, are heavens, but there's they fit into a category. Like, you can put them. For example, most people go through tunnels. Not everybody. There's lots of people who don't. But the things, like I said, that everybody can travel by thought. Everybody can talk telepathy, through telepathy. Those kind of things. Those are normal, everyday kind of things. Be able to see. They can see us down here and know what we're thinking and know, so all of those things, those are universal things. Everybody can do. But what the experience while they're there is very unique. And for example, one woman had a son who was disabled, and he was severely disabled. And so he died before her. And then after he died, she had her death experience, and she saw him. And so she saw him as still disabled. And so she was carrying him around with her. And lo and behold, there's some special chairs for her to put him in. And we don't have a body. We don't take our body. It's laying there on the earth. So we don't have any disabilities. That's one of the other universal things, is that there's no disabilities on the inside. The deaf can hear, the blind can see, the lame can walk, So, so her seeing her son as disabled still was her doing. That was her creating that.
Wow. So we're coming up to the last few minutes of our show here and all that. And man, Lynn, you have had you were fun. That's my best way of saying it, because I don't know anybody that has had the experiences like you've had. To write a book about it, I literally have already saved your book for one of my next purchases on Amazon, because I'm curious about the outside of that, outside of me, and what is next. Because I'm actually, being brutally honest, I'm a former youth pastor, and I've switched over to more of a we're all connected type of thing.
Yeah.
And my dad and them are all like, well, what does that mean and all that? But like your description of heaven and how people view it, it's exactly like how we've been taught. And I think that having people that have been there and you're willing to read or ask questions about their experience, it gives more of us the knowledge of where we're headed, what we're doing, and why we need to know that we are more than just supposed to accept who we are here. We're supposed to grow and be better.
Yes.
So
and you know what? Another thing you're supposed to do is just be, to experience life and to find joy. We're not supposed to suffer.
No,
we do that for ourselves. That's our creation, but that's not. I mean, God doesn't want us to suffer. That's not the deal. We are here to simply experience life and to enjoy and to, do the best that we can, and to love.
I love it. She kind of just did what we usually do at the end without meaning to. That was awesome. So we give an ending of positivity. I was going to have Gavin do an example, but you just did it. You did a great job.
Well, let me just say that my main focus is to help people see that they are magnificent, really truthfully magnificent, and they can accomplish anything they want to if they would just find that strength within. And it's there, but we get frightened and we shrink it. And we don't need to be frightened because it's there.
That's phenomenally said. Like Gavin, she kind of did what we needed to do, what we do at the end. I don't know if I could say anything. I'm going to put it on you. Here, wait. Go ahead, Gavin.
Yeah, that's fine. So what I would like to take away and give to everybody in this episode is don't fear death. You really shouldn't, because if you live a life where you are afraid of bad things happening, if you live a life where you're afraid of death, then you live a life of fear. If you take risks and you seize opportunities, if you go out and you experience the world, your time will come when it's supposed to come. Mm-hmm. Your time will come when your time is up. And in all honesty, there isn't anything you can do about it, and that really is okay. That is what makes life so beautiful. The fact that it's not forever. If you didn't have a deadline, then how much stuff would you realistically get done because you know that there's always tomorrow? The fact that there isn't always tomorrow gives you a reason to get things done today. Enjoy that.
Very well said, buddy. Very well said. Stop looking for others to find your purpose. If you keep looking around and wanting the approval of everybody else around you, you're never going to know what your true destiny is supposed to be, because you're looking for your destiny through others. Love yourself first and know who you are. Guys, what a great episode. Go give Lynn a follow. I put her website up here. And go purchase her book on Amazon, guys. She's an amazing individual. Lynn, I'm going to give you a chance. Any final words to give everybody, to send everybody off to today?
Yeah, one more, and that is that the power that the source uses to create with is love. And so we are love power. That's our being. So, yeah, that's it.
I love it. Guys, go buy her book. Give her some love. Give her some appreciation. And find your best you. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow morning. This was Java Delight, the morning show that gives you a shot of Java with a little bit of delight. Lynn, thank you. And I want to keep a heads up for your children's book coming out. I want to be able to market that for you and put it out here. We had a few people writing on it. So keep us in the loop, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great day, guys.